What up, Reader fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you another game of Save One, Drop One. This time, Book Trope Edition. If you don't know what Save One, Drop One is, it's a game where I'm given two options and I must save one of the options or drop one of the other options. It's a real fun time, besties. But before we get to it, today's video has a sponsor. Today's video is being sponsored by Book of the Month. If you don't know anything about Book of the Month, I got you. Let me give you the 411. Book of the Month is a monthly subscription service. Each month their team puts together a unique list of books from an array of different genres, giving you the opportunity to add some spice to your bookshelves. They give you the option to pick a book as your Book of the Month pick, and they offer an add-on option so you can add a book onto your order. And they also give you the chance to skip a month in case you aren't interested in any of the selections that month and you won't be charged. I'll be sure to leave a link down below in the description where you can learn more information on Book of the Month. And in the month of December, they are running a special deal. New members can get their first book for $5 using the code JOLLY. That is $5 bills. And to that I say, have a holly jolly book, miss. Let's go over the December selections. First up, we have here The Holiday Swap. This book follows twins Charlie and Cass who decide that they are going to swap places to get a taste of a different reality for a little while. But when romance comes into both of their pictures, it becomes a little bit complicated. Drama! Next, Somebody's Daughter. This one I'm very excited about because it's a memoir and I've been wanting to read more memoirs lately. This is the story of a childhood defined by the absence of a father who has been incarcerated. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very good one and make me emotional. Next, we have Olga Dies Dreaming. This is the story of a status-driven wedding planner juggling social ambitions, an absent mother, and her Puerto Rican roots, all in the wake of Hurricane Maria. Next, we have here A History of Wild Places. In this book, we follow Travis, who has a knack for finding missing people. When tasked with the job of finding a missing children's author, he becomes missing himself. This one sounds so good and mysterious and a little bit magical, potentially too, and I am very much so looking forward to it. Next, we have A Flicker in the Dark. Chloe's father admitted to being behind the missing girls in her small town. Now, 20 years later, girls are going missing again, and Chloe is going to be the one to unmask a killer once again. And then finally, the last book, which is in the box here, is actually their add-on option for the month. I'm obsessed with the bookmark they included this month. If you wish upon a star, you might read your TBR. I'm gonna wish on every star I see tonight. And the add-on option is one of my favorite reads of this year, and that is The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. In this book, John Green explores an array of different topics and ties them into real-life situations. From things like a hot dog eating contest, to whispering, to Monopoly, or teddy bears. He presents these different essays in a really interesting way, and I highly recommend checking this book out. Again, new members can get their first book for only $5 using the code JOLLY, so I will leave a link down below in the description. Go and check out Book of the Month. Now it's time for Save One, Drop One Trope Edition. I went over on my Instagram, at jessethereader if you want to follow me, and I asked you guys on my Instagram stories to submit some book tropes, so that's where I got my tropes today. I chucked them all in this mug, and we're gonna go through and pair them up, and I'm gonna have to decide to save one and drop one. Also, be sure to play along with me down below in the comments and let me know your results with each round. Let's get started. First up, Only One Bed. We starting spicy! This one came up so many times and I swear I've never read a book with it in it. Unless I have and I just completely wiped it from my memory, which honestly is very likely because when it comes to romance in books, I pretend to not see it. There was romance? Okay, but there was also incredible character growth, amazing world building, solid action scenes. What do you mean there was a romance? I will say this does sound like it would be a spicy McSpice scene within a book, and I feel like it would bring on the tension. Like, it really feels like it would be the driving force to bring two people together. I feel like if I were ever in a situation like this, I just like wouldn't get it because I'm really bad at reading situations. I'd be like, oh, there's one bed? Well, I'll just sleep on the floor. Are you dumb, Jesse? And to that I say, yes. Yes, I am. That's the one thing in my life I can say confidently. I am dumb. What's it gonna go up against? Ooh, we got fake dating! I am always on board for the fake dating trope. Literally, I don't care if we know that the two people who are fake dating are eventually going to end up together and be real dating. I'll act like I'm not picking up on any of the clues and be completely immersed in excitement when I find out that the two are actually gonna end up together. These two people who were fake dating and had to pretend to be in love actually fell in love? You don't say? Wow! I could have never called that at all. My dream is to be in my own fake dating situation and end up falling in love, so if anybody would like to fake date me, call me. I'm saving fake dating and dropping Only One Bed. Though I do like the idea of the Only One Bed trope. Next, Enemies to Lovers. As much as I love this trope, I feel like I still have not read that many books with it at the forefront. So if you've got recs from me, hit me up. I will say that I feel like a lot of books are put in this category and then they like aren't legit. Like Tokyo Ever After was like low-key marketed presented as enemies to lovers. And like, sure, there's some like annoyance and a little bit of tension between these two characters, but enemies? Bro, some of y'all got the definition of enemies to lovers all wrong. When I think enemies to lovers, I think straight up hating each other, don't want anything to do with each other, trying to sabotage each other, and then over time they end up falling for each other. Now that is enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers is going up against the chosen one trope. This is a classic trope. That character that had no idea they have powers unlocks them, and then la-di-da-di-da, they save the day with zero training. How did they do that? Magic. I don't hate the chosen one trope per se, but am I running to books that have it as the main trope point? Nada. I do a little swerve these days. I'm not closed off to it as a trope per se, but we've just had it a lot. Probably way more than we need it, if we're being real here. And we're all about being real here. I'm saving enemies to lovers, and I'm dropping the chosen one. You're not my chosen one. Go be somebody else's chosen one. Next up. The love triangle. Here's the deal. While I definitely have many negative feelings towards love triangles, like, let's not get it twisted, not my fave, I'm not necessarily closed off to the idea of giving them another chance in the future. Here's the thing, the reason why I really just can't stand love triangles is because, one, I feel like they're way overdone. Like, we've just seen it be done so many times. Like, there was a boom in YA at one point where it was just like, love triangle, love triangle, love triangle, and I was like, I wanna die! Somebody push me off a cliff, immediately! And then the other thing that I really don't like about love triangles is that you can always tell who the chosen one is. It's clear as day! You can pretend all you want that the one who's clearly not going to be chosen is going to be chosen. Fight, argue over it, pit yourselves against each other, but it's always right there before your very eyes. And to me, that's like a loss of tension. Make it more ambiguous as to who's going to end up with who, and it'll maintain that tension. Anyway, clearly I'm still upset over some love triangles I've read in the past, but again, I'm willing to give them a chance just because I feel like we've had a little break with love triangles. They're not as prevalent anymore, and I feel like there are authors who like to take tropes and kind of like to mess with them and make them something new, so I'd be willing to give love triangles another try. It's all in the execution. Love triangles is going up against anti-hero. Oh, love triangles has no shot here. I'm just gonna say it. No shot here. I love me an anti-hero moment. I feel like I've never read a book where I hated this element or where I felt it wasn't done in a solid way. So until I get a book where I'm like, this ain't it, I'm a ride or die with this trope. Saving anti-hero and dropping love triangles. Next, this one, childhood friends to lovers. I feel like more books need this element in them, to be honest. I hardly ever see childhood friends to lovers in books, and that's a shame. What's more wholesome than two best friends growing up together and realizing that they have feelings for each other? Beautiful, crying, throwing up, screaming. I need it in every book ever until I'm tired of it and don't want it anymore. That's going against Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Oh man, I know who the winner of this one's gonna be. I will say it has been a minute since I've read a book that has Manic Pixie Dream Girl as the main trope, and to that I say I am being blessed. God has smiled on me, and that's because it's a trash trope. If you don't know what Manic Pixie Dream Girl is, it's basically a female character who is not like all the other girls, and is typically placed in a book to serve the male character and to further the male character's plot line. They're typically flat characters and just all around a nope from me. So to that I say I'm saving childhood friends to lovers, and I'm dropping the heck out of Manic Pixie Dream Girl. You've been dropped. Don't you come back. No more, no more, no more, no more. Next, found family. The way this trope makes me soft every time. Like literally, I think this is the trope that I would never get tired of. I love seeing these characters that are just completely different come together and forge connections that end up being stronger than blood. And seeing them take on missions and take on the world together, I am just obsessed. The way it's just always doing it for me. It's that trope. Have found family in your book and I'll probably be trash for it. This one is going up against Deadly Games. Ooh, I do love a deadly game in a book. This is gonna be hard because I love both of these. This is also a trope where I feel like you can do it in so many different ways, and I feel like the same way about found family. Like both of these can like really just be brought in a way that's unique and hasn't been done before. Deadly Games can just be like such a fun and thrilling element within a book. And again, it's a trope that can be approached in so many unique and different ways because it's more so a format, but within that format you can just like break it down and make it fresh. This is a tug of war situation for me. Part of me wants to throw them into a deadly competition and have them fight it out. Found family has a stronger hold on me than Deadly Games does, so I'm gonna save found family and I'm gonna drop Deadly Games, even though that was difficult. I love both of you. Next, we've got Forbidden Love. Oh, this one depends. Like if it's a situation where it's like two royals from different kingdoms who want to be together but aren't allowed to be together, their love is forbidden, I'm all for that. If it's a relative situation, vomit. Absolutely not. Going up against the it was all a dream trope. I feel like this is a trope that I don't see as often these days, and I don't hate it per se. Obviously it can be like very annoying. Like I typically get pretty frustrated when there's like this like really intense situation and then all of a sudden the character's waking up and it's like, that wasn't real. Are you joking? How rude. How dare you play me like that? But this is a no-brainer for me. I'm dropping Forbidden Love and I'm saving the it was all a dream trope. Next, the I have powers trope. So basically the chosen Chosen One trope again. I feel like this one just like always goes along with the Chosen One trope, but this one can be done well, but I feel like more times than not when I see this one, the character had no idea that they had a magical ability, and the next thing you know, they're using their ability flawlessly without any training. And it's just like, excuse me? I don't think so. That's not how it works. You gotta do some work to understand your powers. It's not just like, I know everything there is to know about my powers. I am the strongest wizard of all. Watch out. So while I don't mind it, I'm also indifferent about it. Like, I feel like it's all about the execution. That one's going up against student-teacher relationship. Dropped. I'm saving the I have powers trope. This student-teacher relationship can literally eat poison and die. I have no desire to ever see that in a book ever again. It's an immediate no for me. Next, the lost princess trope. I honestly don't have any bad feelings towards this trope. I will say it is overused in YA fantasies specifically. I don't know about adult fantasy because I'm not as well read there, but like, we see this a lot in young adult fantasy. But it can be an interesting trope to be explored depending on how it's explored. Give us the drama and suspense and you should all be Gucci. That one's going up against the pregnancy trope. This one is one that was also submitted a lot, but I don't think I've ever really read a book where the pregnancy trope is prevalent. I don't even really know what the trope is. Like, is it just when a character becomes pregnant? I'm just assuming that's the situation. I don't know if I've read any books where the characters have been like, surprise, I got knocked up. I'm gonna save the lost princess and I'm gonna drop the pregnant lady. I mean, the pregnant trope. Not the pregnant lady. That sounded so bad. My bad. Next, we've got the miscommunication trope. Not my fave. The way this one just makes me so mad, it grinds my gears, it makes me angry. Even if it is a real thing, like, I know that people have a hard time communicating. I myself have a hard time communicating. And that's on putting others' needs before my own and not saying how I really feel. But it's actually one of the most annoying things to read ever. Like, I've had times where I've been reading books and this trope pops up and I just like have to set the book aside and like take a breather because it gets me so frustrated. Just talk it out, my loves. Do more talking and less not talking. Duh. I need to practice what I preach. Parents keeping secrets from their children. This is literally like so similar to the miscommunication trope because it's just them not communicating. I hate this one as well. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I took you away from this magical land where demons were trying to eat you, and now they're back trying to eat you again, babes. I'm sorry. You coulda clued me in, mama. You coulda clued me in, daddy. Can I just drop both of them? Like, this is kind of a lose-lose here because either way I get miscommunication issues. And I feel like I hate the miscommunication trope more so than the parents keeping secret because the miscommunication trope involves more people, like it involves relationships and friendships, whereas this one is just with the parents. We're dropping the miscommunication trope and saving the parents keeping secrets trope. Okay, last round. Knife to throat. Is that like supposed to be like a romantic thing in books? Because it does not sound romantic to me. I'd be like, get that blade away from me or I'll bite you. And I ain't no Edward Cullen, but I'll bite. It's going up against forced proximity. Now this one can be fun, especially if they hate each other and there's some tension there and you know it's gonna blossom into an enemies to lovers moment. We love to see it. We're saving forced proximity and we're dropping knife to throat. Alright guys, that was Save One Drop One Book Trope Edition. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, let me know down below in the comments your results if you played along with me. And let me know down below in the comment what your favorite trope is. Again, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Get your first book for $5 using the code JOLLY. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, go. It's hard to go down. You can't see me. You can't see me.